3 Shadow Dragons have been defeated and 4 remain in Dragon Ball AF. Oob, Goten, and Trunks have all done their jobs in defeating their opponents. Now, it's time for Gohan and Vegeta to finish this out. However, unlike the boys, Vegeta and Gohan have to each defeat 2 Shadow Dragons, and these battles have been getting more intense with each encounter. In the Demon Realm, Vegeta has decided to up the ante a little and stop toying with the Shadow Dragon. He transforms into a Super Saiyan 3 and with a single final shine attack, almost kills the Shadow Dragon. Somehow, however, she survives and now feels forced to use her most powerful transformation, and this brings us to where we are today. A once beautiful Shadow Dragon is now morphing into this grotesque and heinous looking creature as she releases the extent of her negative energy. Vegeta is less amused though, as he unsurprisingly allows her to transform, hoping that this will at least make the battle a little more entertaining. She explodes in a blinding light of power, sending a gust of wind across the battlefield before finally concluding her transformation into whatever this hideous bug-looking form is. "I won't forgive you anymore," she says, as even Vegeta admits that she's become exceedingly ugly now. Of course, this is why she didn't want to transform, and since she's allowed Vegeta to see this form, she can't let him leave this place alive. "I guess you've grown slightly more powerful at least," he asks, which only angers her more. She launches herself at him with her new power, but it's almost completely useless. Vegeta easily dodges all of her attacks. Her newfound speed hasn't made the slightest difference, as Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta looks as bored as ever. She manages to nearly get a swipe in on him that causes him to disengage from their close quarters battle. Then, as he's backing away, she appears behind him overhead. Fortunately, Vegeta is able to just evade the attack entirely just in time as she comes crashing into the ground, creating a massive crater where Vegeta was just standing. Somehow, she was barely able to get a scratch on him. Impressive. However, it doesn't seem like this will change anything, as it'll only at this point make Vegeta angry. "Indeed, it does seem like you've grown slightly more powerful," Vegeta tells her. But so what? The Shadow Dragon can't believe that she's up against such an unbelievable guy. He's fighting while evading all of my clear nets. They're supposed to be invisible, but he's probably able to sense my ki flowing through them. Furthermore, he's even able to avoid all the clear nets I shoot while attacking. Seems like this guy's not all talk. "You may have improved," Vegeta admits, "but it's still not even necessary for me to even get serious. If that's all you got, no matter how much you struggle, you can't defeat me. I'll go ahead and end this now," he threatens. Next, Vegeta takes the offensive and charges straight at her at a blinding speed as the Shadow Dragon loses track of him. She's barely able to put up her defenses and stop Vegeta's first couple of attacks, but he ups the tempo and starts unleashing a flurry of attacks, but he starts going faster and faster until finally, an opening. He pierces her through the stomach with a punch, rips his arm out of her gut saying, "Didn't I tell you? You're unlucky that it was me who was your opponent." And with that, he puts his hand in her face and blasts her away, blowing her to pieces in one final attack, leaving a blistering crater in the ground. The 3-star Dragon Ball, now purified, falls to the ground, signaling Vegeta's successful defeat of his first opponent. However unsatisfying as it may be, as he claims that at least this was a decent warm-up. Over on planet Kashin, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is starting off against the 7-star Shadow Dragon, but this dragon seems a little different than the others we've seen so far. He ducks under Gohan's attack and throws a kick that Gohan's able to evade. All of a sudden, as he gets back to his feet, the dragon forms a blade with his index and middle finger that extends like a sword. He charges at Gohan and starts swinging his blade at him, narrowly missing each and every strike. "You're pretty good," Gohan comments. However, now there's no way you can win. The Shadow Dragon was barely able to scratch Gohan and draw enough blood to get on his blade, as he tells him that this is a part of his ability, ingesting an opponent's blood. This allows him to learn everything about his opponent, including memories, power level, and even weak points. But I don't think the dragon is about to like what he sees. All of a sudden, His face turns white as he looks like he's seen a ghost, asking just what the hell is this guy he's standing across from? He's too dangerous, the dragon says as he sees just how much power Gohan is holding back, getting a glimpse of his true strength, Super Saiyan 5. There's no way I can beat this guy in a straight up fight. What's wrong? Gohan asks. You suddenly just turned blue. But I do know your attack patterns and weaknesses as well, the dragon says, sweating, trying to maintain any air of confidence. To be honest, I'm shocked, the dragon says. I had no idea how mismatched our power levels were. But just because you're stronger doesn't mean you'll just win the fight. You gotta use your head, you know. Which leaves Gohan wondering just what this guy is about to try and do to gain the upper hand. This dragon also starts morphing into something else as his face and body contort. All of a sudden, we see that the dragon chose to play dirty as he learned of Gohan's weak spot, turning into Pan. Gohan doesn't even know how to react as he knows that this isn't his daughter, but seeing her face again after witnessing her be killed a few chapters back definitely works on his emotions. I just told you a moment ago, the dragon says. I know everything about you, including your weak points. My weak points? You think that form is my weak point, Gohan says, trying to maintain control of the fight. This is when Pan, or the dragon, but we'll just call her Pan for right now since she's transformed, starts attacking Gohan, who for now hesitates on fighting back. Even she calls him out for not counterattacking at all, knowing that there's no way he can win if he doesn't fight back. Calm down, he says to himself. Even if it looks like Pan, it's not her on the inside. Suddenly, he finally throws a punch that sends his fake daughter flying across the battlefield. It's just as I thought after all, the dragon says. That wasn't a serious attack at all, was it? Accusing Gohan of still holding back. You feel really guilty about your daughter, don't you? As I said before, my ability allowed me to search your memories and attack patterns for weak points. So, no matter how much you try and hide it, I know everything. I know what makes you lose the will to fight. For example, she goes on, and this is when he actually changes his voice to exactly mimic hers and starts acting out memories that Gohan and Pan shared together. This pretty much successfully draws out Gohan's emotions and dampers any will he had to fight left as he's brought to his knees with tears in his eyes. It seems you've completely lost the will to fight, she says as he provokes him, saying that there is of course no way that he could kill his daughter twice. She kicks him across the battlefield as unfortunately it's taking Gohan a minute to snap out of it, but if he doesn't do something soon, this fight may come to an end quicker than we thought. She starts wailing on Gohan in an onslaught of attacks as he refuses to fight back, just taking all of her attacks with no resistance whatsoever. I swear, she says as she stomps on his torso, the way you humans think is so incomprehensible. Love and bonds are good for nothing. Why throw your life away for someone else? That's why you've always had to rely on us. Learn from your own damn mistakes already, she continues, stomping on him as Gohan has almost completely lost the will to even contest her attacks anymore as he just lays there helplessly. Playing with you was fun, but I'm already getting bored, the dragon says, so I'll finish you off. Finally, the dragon reverts back to his original form and extends his hand out beside him, still with one foot on Gohan's torso. He creates a massive tornado ball attack in his hand as he prepares to finish Gohan off with this final attack and forces it towards the ground at point blank range. Finally, it seems like Gohan has snapped out of it as the fight returns to his eyes, and at the last second, he leaps up to hold back the dragon's attack. The dragon is shocked that Gohan all of a sudden has enough strength to battle this attack even. Gohan begins changing, and with this, transforms into a Super Saiyan 4, completely overtaking the Shadow Dragon's attack. He lifts the attack up and kicks the tornado ball into the air as it explodes over their heads. The dragon is stunned, saying that he put everything he had into that attack, but now it's Gohan's time to end this. He throws a vicious punch that pierces the Shadow Dragon through the torso, who tries to concede in the face of overwhelming power, but it's too late. Gohan says that he realized in the middle of the fight that he would eventually revert back to his original form again. When you attacked in Pan's form, I realized that there was almost no damage. You probably can't use your true power while shapeshifted, huh? So, I figured you would definitely return to your original body when going for the finishing blow. You reverted to your original form and tried to finish me off as expected. It was the moment I'd been waiting for, and now, it's time to finish this Shadow Dragon and retrieve the next Dragon Ball from him who dared to toy with Pan's feelings, and for that, Gohan can never forgive him. In one final attack, Gohan starts preparing an enormous Super Kamehameha as the dragon pleads for his life, but it's far too late at this time. He unleashes his attack as the giant Kamehameha engulfs the entire battlefield as well as the Shadow Dragon and completely obliterates him at point blank range thanks to the power of Super Saiyan 4. In one single overwhelming attack, the 7-star Shadow Dragon has not only been defeated, but turned to complete dust. Gohan reverts back to his base form, satisfied with his performance, but his emotions have been forced back to the forefront of his mind. He picks up the newly purified and repaired Dragon Ball as he swears to Pan that as her father, he will save her. Just give him a bit longer and he'll make everything right again. Over on the planet where Elder Kai is watching over Goku and the rest of the battles, he takes a sigh of relief that it seems like things are going smoothly so far. Somehow, he steps over to Goku saying his condition has actually improved quite a bit. With 5 Shadow Dragons, 5 parts of the negative energy purified, the burden on Goku's body has been decreased as well. I hope everything goes well with the remaining last 2, he says. We're counting on you, Gohan and Vegeta, as they both still have one final Shadow Dragon each to defeat. Back on planet Earth, Kibito Kai and Giru are hot on the trail of the 6th dragon as he suddenly stops on a dime, sensing a sinister key nearby on a cliff. Giru starts freaking out as for the first time, even he senses the abnormal danger from this one. Something is far different about this dragon than the rest. He even looks the most unique so far. What an absurdly enormous key, Kibito Kai says, trembling. He's obviously on a whole different level than the evil dragons that came before. This is when the dragon takes notice of Kibito Kai and Giru in the distance as he calls him out, saying, "If it isn't the Kaioshin, you're late. I got sick of waiting, so I've been researching cool poses. You've come to seal our movement, right?" Kibito Kai is stunned as there's absolutely no easy way to approach this guy or take him by surprise like the others. Even the split second he needs to just touch him and teleport him would cost him his life. Now, please hurry, the 1-star dragon says. Send me to where they're waiting. Did you just say to take you there? Kibito Kai asks. What do you mean? Isn't your objective to torment the people of Earth? However, this dragon is much different than all the rest. That certainly may be true of the others, he says. I much prefer breaking the noses of the strong than tormenting the weak though. I know you're fighting on other planets to shield the Earth. Well, how convenient for me, Kibito Kai says, still trembling as Giru is still sounding the alarm about how dangerous this guy is. I'll take you there right now, as you wish, he says. But before that, let me ask you one thing. Which wish were you born from? The dragon smirks, saying that he was born from the negative energy produced when the wish to teach Goku how to become a Super Saiyan God was born, during the battle against Beerus. No confirmation yet on if the nature of the wish directly contributes to why this dragon is so much stronger than the others so far, but Kibito Kai takes him to where Gohan is waiting on planet Kachen. When they arrive, the dragon is instantly excited to feel how powerful Gohan is, but Kibito Kai is still really skeptical. Something is very off and very dangerous about this guy, but before he leaves, Gohan tosses him the Dragon Ball. In the mere presence of this dragon, Kibito Kai is shaken, but all he can do now is trust Gohan to handle this from here, as the two stand across from each other, and Kibito Kai heads back to Earth to find the last Shadow Dragon and Vegeta's next opponent. Gohan and the 1-star dragon prepare to begin their fight, but this guy not only has an extremely weird personality, but his power is simply dreadful, and he isn't shy about hiding it. There's no doubt that this battle will push even Super Saiyan 5 Gohan to his limits, as the last dragon was merely a warm-up. However, now, these will certainly be life or death situations, as Gohan can't afford to let his guard down or make any mistakes here. Consider leaving a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time in Chapter 12 of Dragon Ball AF with the return of Super Saiyan 5.